for my stream. And here we are. Welcome to game 1 in this best of 3 series in round 1 of the Ayre Age League between LaaaN and Running. This first game is being played on LaaaN Madness. And joining me in commentary for the series is Baradin.
Yeah, welcome, and we have an interesting matchup. As we expected, we have the Magyars against the Franks on LaaaN Madness. So you see the ice train here is not wallable. We immediately see actually LaaaN pushing the deer, so there's no hesitation right there. And this is a map that is usually very, very open, especially the wood patches is a little bit like Acropolis, the part where the aggression usually comes in. We probably see heavy scouts play from both sides, which in the beginning will favor the Franks, and in the later stage of the feudal game will favor the Magyars once they get bloodlines in. So this is going to be fairly interesting when is happening what, and whether the Franks can actually stand their ground against the famous Magyar scouts with their free forging that they get as a civ bonus.
That is true. That free forging will actually come into play. We can expect both players to go. Actually, no. We can't expect both players to go scouts into knights because Magyars have it open to them, don't they? They could go scouts into knights. They could go scouts into 3 ranges and CA. They do have pretty good cavalry archers. And then, of course, they've got the infamous Magyar Hussar, which is the coolest looking unit in the game, arguably. So,
kind of the winged hussar, and it is also additionally to be mentioned, like the cavalry archer of the Magyars is good once they get to the Imperial Age upgrade. So
true.
I expect actually in the Castle Age to see the knights of the Magyars, although you have to say that the Frankish knights are actually superior. So this is an interesting point. Does the Magyar go for CA there? Although there's at least nothing special to them until they get their special attack.
Yeah, recurve bow, of course, will be very important for the Magyars to research if they choose to go for the cavalry archer approach. Now, I want to ask you, what do you think of the maps of the players? I see Running's map for LaaaN Madness is actually quite wallable, but what do you think about the maps for the players?
I think that he has gold, especially in the back, which is nice. Although the one gold that is close, like a little bit on the western side of his base, that is hard to mine just because it's so weirdly positioned with the ice.
Oh yeah, true.
But still, like, he has 2 gold patches that are fairly securely mineable. On the other side, stone looks a bit more dicey. When we though look to LaaaN, I think he has gold and stone that are fairly secure, and it's not greatly wallable, but I see what you mean. Like, definitely Running space, in my opinion, is a little bit more wallable, but I would still say that I wouldn't wall it. It's just the amount of resources that you put in there is probably something that you shouldn't do if you want to go really heavy into scouts and you have a tight build order for that.
Seeing this map previously, though, in the qualifiers, that's a very fast uptime.
Absolutely.
Seeing this map previously in the qualifiers, we have seen players trying to wall their map as best they can, going right to the edge.
And that's the only way to do it, right? I mean,
yeah, of course, because you can't go across the wood lines.
If you expect the enemy to be better in the army department, that they are superior there, then you kind of have to do it. That's just such an investment. It's actually insane.
It takes them a while to get fully walled, though, so they do it gradually over time, from what I've seen.
And I've seen actually people, especially with the Franks, to just run around and build random mills somewhere at the berries and to just collect them all because they just have such a fast income of this, which is actually a bonus that we didn't quite touch on, right? Like the Franks just have this berry collection bonus, and there are so many berries spread and distributed on the map. This is actually something they can take advantage of, but you really need to think about whether you want to resource wall those occasionally.
We see LaaaN running under Running's TC.
And losing the scout, that is bad. Like, he's Dark Age, he's a little bit behind, and if I see what he sees, he doesn't see anything. Well, the first thing he saw of the enemy was the TC, so yeah, feels Batman, what happens. It can happen, but this is really bad. He doesn't see the barracks, he doesn't see the stable, although he'll probably think it.
I mean, you've got to expect it. First of all, map. Second of all, the civ he's going up against. He knows that he's going to be going up against spears and scouts for sure. And well, Running's bringing his units across the map to try and look to do a bit of damage.
I don't see a good point where he could come in at the moment. Just one spear defending fairly nicely. There are the resource walls on the wood. And the nice thing about the build order, the nice thing of going for scouts is also that you don't need to put anyone additionally on wood all the time. Like if you would go for archers and stuff like that. So this is alright. You cannot just use the stragglers to bridge the time until you have your farms up. So this is also another advantage why you should go for scouts on this map, and everything else is actually never seen really. And the same actually goes for Mr. Running here, who has resource walled his wood as well. Also uses the straggler trees. Is it straggler or stagler? The straggler trees, right?
Yeah, it's straggler.
Okay, the straggler trees on the wood around the town center until he gets his farm. So nothing really happening until now. Very peaceful. Some pointy boys battle, but nothing despite of that going really on. Who would you cast more profile? Like, who would you give the advantage to when it comes to post-imperial?
Probably.
It's hard, right?
Probably Magia's only just because the post-imperial gold's running out. The Magia Hussar doesn't cost gold.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Magia Hussar doesn't, and also the Hussar itself costs less. I would also add that.
True.
And the Magia Hussar, as well as the Hussar of the normal Hussar of the Magias, which is always a horrible thing to cast. Because the Magia Hussar and the Magia Hussar both are stronger than actually the Hussar of the Franks. So this is a fairly good point. And they also have the Cav Archer as an option. So I would also give it to the Magias there if they come to this trash part. But I don't know. What do you like if everyone is at the prowess of their units, like paladins and throwing X-Men, and
if it's gold units we're talking about, then Franks definitely have the edge because their cavalry just have more HP, and then they've got throwing axemen to counter any form of pike that comes out from the Magias. They've got their Cavalier / Paladin to deal with the Cavalry Archers, assuming there isn't too many of them with recurve bow.
It would be an interesting discussion, though, if you can actually make it that you, because the Magia, like the Hussars, the normal Hussars of the Magias are cheaper, whether you can use them sufficiently as a meat shield against the Paladins that the Cav Archers behind it can do sufficient damage. That would be an interesting discussion, and thus drain them out of gold, because Paladin also cost intensive. I mean, to be fair, the Cav Archer is also cost intensive, but the idea behind that would be that you basically sacrifice your Hussars against the Paladins, and thus always come out on top when it comes to gold. That would be an interesting question, but I don't have experience with that, and I don't know whether it's a realistic scenario or whether you would just steamroll through that.
We see
some Pointy Boys battle in the middle going on.
See quite a large fight actually going on. It seems like LaaaN will come on top of that by a lot, killing all the scouts of the Frank player. That's big.
Really bad. That was a really bad engagement, and also with the Pointy Boys there. So we have 15-1 military and 36-34 villagers, and this is
15-1. That's looking
really bad.
There's a villager going down near the farms. Loses a scout, but I mean, one scout's basically nothing for LaaaN at the moment. But it does seem to have a pretty decent eco behind this. No bloodlines. Yeah, he's committing a lot to not have bloodlines.
No, I'm surprised that actually LaaaN did so well, because he didn't have bloodlines. He didn't have any upgrades on his spears. So
I think he got extra damage in with his spears.
Yeah, he has the forging, of course, because of the Civ bonus, but... running is going. Running is actually being greedy here and trying to get up. That's why he built a market. Come on, sell 100. Exactly. Sold 100 in wood and is up to Castle Age and saying, well, you have the Pointy Boys and you have your Donkey Boys, but they won't help you very much because I will have Castle Age and you cannot do anything about it. Because I'm walled. So that's probably the plan here, because you saw, well, you don't have skirms, you don't have archers, you don't have anything. And my wood eco is safe, my gold eco is safe, my food eco is safe. So that's probably the plan here. We see double barracks actually by the Franks. So I guess he's thinking pikeman?
Yeah, knight pike probably. Not a composition you see all too often.
No, absolutely not.
Normally
and also interesting. Sorry, please go ahead.
Normally a range unit you mix in with that, that's all I was going to say.
I'm also curious whether it actually makes sense mobility-wise, but probably it's just for the defense. You just have something like 10 pikes running around your crucial areas of economy, and thus defending against raids, especially by scouts. And then you have knights that are raiding and trying to clear the front. I guess that's the plan here. Let's see whether I'm right. He's losing those spearmen again, but he's also on the other side. The enemy is having scouts so low. So low. Like those, they don't do anything anymore. He will take this trade any time of the day, because now he can get his villagers free without actually sacrificing them. And that was the whole sense of the deal. Because those villagers can easily deal with the Pointy Boys. And now there are 2 spearmen around, so there's no real danger here for the villagers. Very heads-up play by running, I gotta say. Nicely done. We have the second stable coming up, we have the first knights coming out, we have additional scouts coming in, running around the gold, but this will be just cleared up by some spearmen.
Castle Age now in, and same with bloodlines for LaaaN. It's gonna be 3 stable knights for
and
LaaaN.
Suddenly those scouts, they have 7 attack, so they are dealing quite a bit, and they can actually, in those numbers, they can deal with knights even. It's not effective, but
especially not on an uphill like just did then. I like how running is sending the knights straight to LaaaN's base.
Yeah.
Looking to do as much damage as possible. There is a town centre going up there which could be denied, but unlikely with how low HP that knight was. I don't actually think that knight dying specifically was worth it. Maybe waiting until 2 or 3 grouped up before doing that would have been better.
Can you give me the timestamps where you're at?
It's 24, 20, 30. 24, 30.
Okay, I just speed it up. Okay, I'm there. And now, oh, look at the scout raid in the wood. Oh my god. Having lost 1. Not just losing 1. That should have been like 5 dead villagers. It was amazing to have not lost more there. I think there is no... I always forget the name of the upgrade. What is it? Husbandry in? for run here. That's what it feels like. And there's now also, this is light cavalry now, and it does 9 damage. And also, like, he just has the +1 armor upgrade.
Look at the number of villagers dying there.
Yeah, it's insane, right? They have 40 to 30 kill death ratio.
Why is he fighting that with villagers?
I don't know.
That wasn't.
It's light cap, and they do 9 damage. Oh my god. Oh, this is slaughter. This is a big.
That for me there is game over.
Yeah.
There's no way he comes back economically from that.
There's like 10 villagers behind now. Like, he has a second TC. Congrats, you just lost 10 villagers. And your opponent also has a second TC. Oh god. That was rough. But it also strikes me like this automatic bonus means that everything that LaaaN throws at running is just stronger. Like the knight also, they have 12 attack, like with just having to pay 1 upgrade with 150 food, and running just has +1 armor upgrade, and that's it. There's no forging. There's no iron
casting.
Iron casting, thanks. There's no chain bonding armor, so that's rough. That's absolutely rough.
This is looking very good for
still on
LaaaN.
the offensive. And LaaaN just forgot about 2 of his knights that actually could go into the wood line and kill the rest of the villagers. They're just standing right there.
Yeah, he was using that to attack and mill.
And now, also running lost a lot of his. This looks very over. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's over for a little bit now. It must have been a misclick to have all 10 of those villagers standing in that one spot.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that amount of villagers should have died. The game was lost in that very moment.
Yeah.
Perhaps a DE thing.
I don't think so. I don't think it was a DE thing. I think it was a simple misclick, and then like he released, he didn't pay attention. He probably was busy on the front, and then because like those villagers were back at his town center, and there were so many of them coming at the same time, and he was not building a lumber camp somewhere else. So that was a conscious decision, I think, and I gotta be honest, there was not showing what I have experienced running to be capable of, and it was surely something that he will shake his head about, and that I can just hope he shakes off. He says mistakes happen and comes back even stronger and storming out of the gates against LaaaN and showing him what he's actually capable of, because that was not his true form.
That's not the running I've seen before either. I know for a fact he's a much stronger player than perhaps what he showed in this specific game. Hopefully on his map though he can turn the tables around and perhaps bring the series back to a tie for a third game.
I just want to shortly show the statistics here. So it's really this units killed lost ratio that I think decided basically the game, and I think also the early bonus of having the tech upgrades there, and I also was missing the tech upgrades here for running quite a while. I think he should have done those, because otherwise you cannot compete with your enemy, and
yeah,
that was a big problem. And the villager difference and the economy difference, I think, were basically just a result of the 10 villager loss that just happened at the end of Feudal Age there. Yeah. Shame. But that's the way it is. Going to second game. Let's see how he handles it. Second game, Bedouins, right?
Yeah, it is on Bedouins. Coming into the second game, LaaaN will be feeling confident though. He's got Indians, remember?
LaaaN has the Indians, so we said Indians, Mayans it's going to be, right?
Highly probable.
Highly probable.
Yeah.
And
Because
so,
obviously he
let's
could
see.
pick something else, but whether or not he does, it could be a mistake. We'll jump into the next game of the series. I'm loading it up now. I'll tell you at what second I'm paused.
I think I have to make you a bit louder actually on the... Yeah. Okay.
Right. I am ready at 1 second.
Alright. Me too.
Alright. And I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1, go. And I'll change the screen for...
So, tell me about your surprise.
Well, we said Indians, and LaaaN has gone for not Indians, essentially. They are very far away from each other starting as well.
And look at that, this one villager, like where on the Lithuanian
super
TC,
far away, yeah.
this one villager is super far away, but it also basically took immediately free sheep, nearly free sheep that were just surrounding at the TC there. So without knowing, he took actually a lot of resources already from LaaaN here. He opted into Lithuanians. What do you say about the Lithuanians? Why Lithuanians?
I don't know. I really don't know. Lithuanians. He could be looking to go for
150 food.
True. Could be looking to go to feudal age even faster with that. Although you typically only use that extra 150 to stop being idle. Running gets his TC up first. Okay, 7 villages skewed. You don't
He's having a relaxed game, right?
Pretty much.
He's having a... I cannot slip up at this Dark Age. This is impossible. So yeah, Lithuanians obviously the food, with the food being in this regard very consumer friendly for people who are a bit more new to the game, who want to get used to the Dark Age. And Mayans also having this nice bonus of having longer lasting resources, so you don't have to go away and do farms and stuff all that fast.
Now, because it's a nomad start, Mayans will be a villager ahead for most of the game.
Quite a while, yeah. And obviously getting this 4th villager out there, and LaaaN interestingly doing a mill very early, going to his 2nd pawn, only just because of efficiency reasons here, to just max out the efficiency of his villagers with shore fishing. Nice move, I like it. Although the TC placement of the mine player, I like it also a lot. What do you say to the TC placements, to the situation on the map? Who would you favor?
Well, they're very far away from each other, first of all. The fact that they are so far away from each other, I think, actually somewhat favors Lithuanians just because they're more mobile. But in terms of TC placement, Running's TC is just simply better. He's got the berries, he's got the somewhat wood lines, which he could use but probably won't, and he's got that pond right there with as good of efficiency as he could possibly hope for. He is going for... I thought he was going to build a mill. No, he's just building a house. He does also have that backward line closer, which it seems like LaaaN hasn't gone for just yet. Remember, he does start with extra wood as well, though, so you probably won't see him going for that too early. He's chopping wood on that wood line right next to his town centre there, so he doesn't really need a lumber camp just yet.
What I find tricky for the Mayans when I look at it is actually the gold. The gold is tricky. So you just have it on the very right side, which is very left side, I mean, which is very far. And you have it a little bit down, but also very much in the open. And those are basically your 2 gold spots that you can go to. So you have to defend them quite aggressively. On the other side, I think the gold spots for our Lithuanian player here are a little bit more secure. Also, the stone is very close to the TC. So
That's very defendable
yeah,
if he wants to go for something like towers, but with how far away the players are, I doubt that'll be the case.
yeah. Well, just for like defensive towers and boom, that would be probably very nice. Um, I would be interested, like, how do we picture how this matchup plays out? What do you think?
I definitely think, well, because he's Lithuanians, right? LAAN's going to go for relics at some point. He needs a minimum of 2 for his bonus to be effective. For those who don't know, the Lithuanian bonus is their knights and lighters get an extra attack per relic up to a maximum of 4. And for that attack bonus to be effective, he needs 2, really. And luck, well.
Is it, is it just otherwise it doesn't matter really, or
it doesn't. It's kind of like getting forging before getting scalebarding armor, right? So
yeah,
yes, it assists in killing the unit faster, but it's not as effective. It's better to have extra 2 rather than an extra 1. Not only because it's an extra attack, but it's just more so effective. From what I've seen, having only 1 relic doesn't help too much.
Okay. Look at the walling of running.
Yeah, he's very protected, but I was about to say he doesn't. That's.
I think he feels very protected like that, but those are greedy walls. The question is, can he defend those?
I'm sure he can. I'm sure he can. Players at this level, I mean, I'm scanning around his walls trying to find a hole. I don't see one. But I think he'll be fine if scouts come forward, which is what he's expecting. Actually, in the middle of the map, LAAN's building a barrack, so he's gonna build his buildings relatively close to.
Do you know that actually LAAN could go with those resources? He's close to be able to go for a fast castle. 21 pop.
I was looking at that. Maybe.
I think he is.
Yeah. So do I. He's on gold as well. He's going to go FC. FC Knights.
Stable?
Blacksmith stable.
Blacksmith? That's a fast castle. Wow, I've never seen a 21 pop fast castle. I gotta remember that. But
that's what you get for Bedouins.
Shore fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is because shore fishing.
Fastest method of food gathering in the game, minus the Indian bonus.
He is nearly clicking Castle Age when his enemy just reached Feudal Age.
Actually, both players are going for a somewhat FC build. Looking at running, he's got a Market Blacksmith going up as well. He will be a little bit behind. He does have 4 on stones, so he will be looking to go for plumes. By the looks of it.
But also, like LaaaN has a stable already. He is producing scouts, and our Mayan player is completely naked here. He is just a market and a blacksmith. That's it.
And some really large walls.
And that's the price you pay for walling, right? This is what you see there is basically the barracks. And because he didn't have the barracks, he could play. He couldn't go for another feudal age military building, and he is going for the castle drop. Actually, he has 6 on stone. He's going fast castle into the castle drop and tries to secure his resources like that. I think that's the play. And let's see what plays out. LaaaN going for the map control here, and what I like now about the walls is that he included 2 relics.
Yes.
He included 2 relics, and those relics are secure. So he just gives maximum 3 relics to the Lithuanian player, And
He
3
did.
relics is already pretty good
That's
for the Lithuanian
for
player,
Lithuanians.
but at
That's a
least it's
lot.
maximum.
True.
But at least it's not maximum.
True.
So
True.
he probably figures that in Castle Age he cannot withstand.
It is the
So, I
monastery.
don't know. Yeah, instant monastery. Lithuanians having a full tech tree also there makes it not so easy for the Mayan to play against it.
I think that if Mayans can get to their ideal unit composition against a cavalry civ, which is their pike halbs or halb eagle rather, with El Dorado, I feel like they have a pretty good shout of coming back in this game. They just have to hold on. He will get the 2 relics. He's building a monastery in his base, and he is dropping that castle, like you said. He's not building any extra eco just yet. LaaaN is chucking their second town centre up.
Castle coming up, monastery coming up here by our Mayan player.
Yep.
And there's the second TC, as you just said. Where is... What is he going for? He's going for the monk. The monk doesn't move yet, but he has 1 relic collected already.
I think he will definitely get all 3, and his knights are gonna be nuts.
I would be super surprised if not. Like how, because they are basically around him. So there would be.
I absolutely like how LaaaN's built his buildings in the middle of the map instead of at home.
Yeah.
Because, well, now he's got kind of a Ford Seeds workshop, except for the fact that it's actually part of his base. He's going to have so much map control coming into mid Castle Age. And he's just going to have military numbers. Yeah.
He's also using that so nicely. So getting the relics, understanding his game, and just punishing the turtling strategy of running here. Who's going now to the 2nd and 3rd TC?
Do you see Plumed Archers out now?
And we have a Scorpion, we have a little bit of cavalry, we have the 3rd town center for LaaaN coming up, and those archers striving to get
they're trying to find the monk.
some raiding.
Is what I think they were trying to do. I feel like he saw where the relic was on the minimap. Yeah, he did. And he saw it disappear, so he wanted to go out and try and snipe the monk, but he didn't manage. See Maggot
Hey,
coming
Azu,
out
thanks
now?
for asking. For our cast is going great, I'd say.
I agree.
LaaaN is at the moment leading. I think he's in the commanding position. He has 3 relics. His eco is fairly secure with his town centers. He has secured all the wood and gold spots that are important, pressuring the Mayan player, who has, well, a bit in an unfortunate map spot, but he also, the problem was that I think the moment you turtle like that, you also limit yourself to go out on the map and to actually grab the resources you need, right? And this is something that in this moment, when you have a map like that, I understand it civ-wise, but playing the map-wise, it's probably not the best choice. Ooh,
5 villages
losing
dying.
some villagers. How many died there?
5.
Wow.
Which actually means LaaaN had an incredible villager lead.
Yeah. And
Running's not producing.
fluid.
He's not making villages.
Why? Isn't that like the 2nd or 3rd time we also have that today? We had it with Draken, like last series, and we had it with Kasma. That they just stopped producing villagers, and you cannot do that at this level. Villagers, man. We want to see a 3rd game.
There you go. He now queues up villages from 3 TCs. It is 3 TCs to the 3. Never mind, I didn't see the 3rd one being built in the middle of the map.
But he also cannot sustain the production completely like as he is. 14 on food. On the other side, you have 29 on food. And here in wood. It is an extreme difference. But there's not on gold anymore.
Also important to note, running is running out of fish.
Yeah.
Good mangonel trade.
What a pun. Oh yeah, yeah, it was 2-1. So good mangonel trade here by running, but it doesn't matter in the moment because, like, yeah, the town center is below the necessary HP. The knights can run in, and there are some booms and some monks. The booms snipe the monks, so that is nice. One conversion has been going on. How many conversions can running get? Gets one conversion, gets the mango shot to the face, the monk goes down, and the knights will clean up the boom launches.
Yeah, that was a good fight for LaaaaaN, for sure. And well, looking at the score, it seems pretty grim for running at the moment. Siege still in his face. I expect that town center to go down.
I expect it as well, and there is no aggression coming in from other sides. LaaaaaN going back to gold, he's putting up a market. He is comfortable, like, not comfortable, he's a little bit ahead in villagers. He's definitely ahead when it comes to military. Not even just the numbers, but especially the amount of villagers he's killing into sea. And just getting the inversion in there.
Look at the stats on the knights. +4, that's insane.
Yes.
It could be +5.
Ooh, that's a rough spot to be in. Like, you need pikes.
Absolutely.
I understand the monk play and the monk and two archers, and you cannot afford the text, which I understand that, but it's just so heartbreaking because, like, you're caught here and, like, look at how this goes down. Look at the palisades. Look how the houses go down. It looks like paper at this point.
There's a hole and he continues to attack the house.
God, like he nearly two-shots those monks.
Yeah, those knights are nuts.
One knight with 4 shots, boom, Mangana gone. 300 resources down the drain. GG, goodbye. Oh, this is rough.
I do feel I feel like this is going to be a matter of time, especially with how strong these knights are. He doesn't have the defensive upgrade just yet. He's just getting that now. Takes down another monk in 2 hits, like you say, and well.
Wow. What a showing!
I think that's GG is justifiable with those knights. I think it's a mistake to. Well, I know it's a mistake to let Lithuanians get that many relics.
You cannot give Lithuanians map control. I think running was maybe surprised by the 21 pop fast castle, but like he probably expected him to go aggressive in feudal age, but LaaaaaN just adapted so nicely. Like he saw he's turtling completely, and he just didn't give a damn. Like he just went, okay, then I guess I go fast castle, and he executed it so nicely. He played the map, he understood what he had to do, he understood his win condition better today, and honestly, that was the most convincing series that we had today.
Absolutely. LaaaaaN putting on a very good show against running in this third and final series of the day. And well, he will progress to the next round where he will face Back-T, I think, which should be a very good series.
That should be a very good series indeed. And I think we saw today a very interesting series, especially like the second one, I think was the one I liked the most, especially because it just went 3 games.
It went the distance, yeah.
And we had great matches today. this one here surely was the shortest and LaaaN the most convincing, but all the players had good showings, and surely everyone who lost will also step up and will have the chance to step up in another
in the next
series.
round. Yeah, so everyone gets to play at least twice during this group stage. It's a Swiss system for those who don't know, so losing 2 gets you eliminated, and then winning 2 obviously gets allows you to progress, where they progress to a double elimination playoffs. So it should be really good by that stage where we get the top 4. But yeah, and LaaaN definitely showing that he is looking to get to that stage, of course.
Yeah, and I want to thank you very much for the organization. I want to thank you very much for letting me participate. And just let's have a shout out to your channel right there, because let me just see. There we go. And guys, if you didn't by now, this, and I put it in the chat, Jason_AOC is the channel where you can go and leave a follow. And how is the schedule progressing from now on, Jason?
So we still have one series to be played in the first round between Kapoch and Say My Name. It looks like they're playing Sunday 14 GMT as... Oh no, I don't want to spoil the Red Bull result because I believe some people who maybe here haven't seen it. But yeah, Kapoch will be playing at 14 GMT, so we'll probably have that series casted at some point during the week to catch up, and then next Saturday we will have ACCM versus the winner of that series. Then the second winners match, which will be between Bacti and LaaaN, and then we will have 2 elimination series following that. That being Casva versus the loser of Kapoch versus Say My Name, followed by Draken versus Running, which should be very high stakes best of 3 matches, and should be very, very good, of course.